Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev. And my sincere thanks to IIME to invite me here. I don't have pitch because I know sometimes technology glitches will be there. So I'm just going to speak straight from extempore, from my experience of 37, 38
Perfect.
years in this space.
Perfect, sir.
And, and then I can take whatever questions are. So let me just cover the journey. I started after engineering. Those days, medical device portfolios used to be very small. There was no CT, no MR, no ultrasound, no PET CT. So as these products kept on getting added, the portfolio size started becoming big. And today, when we 600 billion globally, India is about 9 billion. But what we need to really understand here that we are a 15-16% population, and 9 billion takes only 1.5% of the global market. So clearly it shows if all the parities are being addressed, we could be 10 times straight there. I know those parities are big, economical and many other, but that is a one ground reality we need to understand that we have a large population, and if we start doing things good in India, make in India, our market itself is very, very big. So that's a one area which we need to understand. I came in BPL Medical, which is about 50 years old company into medical technologies, and this is a invested company by Goldman Sachs. In 2013, I came. Why I came here? I mean, this is an interesting question. A lot of people have asked me. I felt that in India, in every country rather, there has to be a couple of companies who fulfill the medical devices requirement internally. And we have very little of that. So this was my thought that if I come, probably I can trigger it. And I very strongly believe that some large organizations like Tata's or Reliance or Mahindra's or HCL, such companies must come. And if they come, probably things can be accelerated very, very fast. And this is how it can totally change the game in India when it comes to the medical devices. We acquired about 4 years back Penlon, which is an Oxford-based, UK-based company. And very happy to tell here that we have now executed today 9,300 ventilators, which we got the order from UK government. And again, great technology company. It was an offshoot of Oxford University. And my point here is that, when I came to this company, I realized that this is so different than working 29 years in a multinational and coming back. Because here you have to set up the kitchen. And Dr. Ramanan is here and he will definitely vouch me that, we have to set up the kitchen, we have to do end to end and then produce the product. It is not that you just get a one regulated device from somewhere and start selling in the marketplace. So it's a too different than what we generally do as a, I'll say, multinational people. Now, 6 years back, my realization was that R&D is a big challenge in India. We have, unlike Western world, academia is not so engaged in this. We don't have a lot of traction as an industry. Because industry is still very small. I mean, if you look at out of 9 billion, 1.5 is made in India, and that is made by so many people, small piece. So it's not a large system, which also then creates the ecosystem. You will not get an ecosystem unless there is a very large pull for that. And then government focus was also very low. And why I say here, and my recommendation, I'll just touch that what I feel government must do. We also have a challenge in the skilled labor. I mean, today you want to get R&D guys, since institutes don't do that. When I say institutes, IITs of the world were not so much focused there, which is now happening a lot. A lot of positive things are happening. But that is where the challenge was. And even training for paramedics, even the people who have to use these machines. You have to have a CT users, operators, MR operators, and they were not really being produced much. So that was another issue which I felt. And another challenge which I felt was that why this industry was not very positive is that we had a very low entry barrier. Anybody can just bring anything and start selling. Now, government is trying to raise the regulatory norms. This is a good news. And I think that is very, very important. If you have to really bring India at the overall platform, overall global arena, we have to be seen as not something jugaad only. We have to produce products which are really of a high quality. So that's another area which I felt that low entry barrier was not so good about it. And when we look at in India to produce the product, we should not think of only India as a market. We should always develop products keeping world as a market. You should create a product which will get acceptance across. And then I said ecosystem needs to be done. Now, when I see after 6 years, 6.5 years, I see IISc or IITs of the world. There are a lot of startups coming, a lot of activities happening, a lot of government is motivating. Today from PMO, if he says that I want a lot of equipment, a lot of make in India things to happen, we see a lot of positive things happen across there. So academia is active. Look at the engineering institutes now. Last probably 1.5 decades, now you see many biomed and biotechnology people are being produced from there. That was not much. It was not a very focused activity. It used to be only electrical guys, electronics guys come and run this. Like I was electrical engineer. Now you have a very subject matter experts learn there and they get into this space, which is definitely helping a lot. And then they take project, they get into a lot of startups, which is extremely helpful. I visited just to deliver some lectures a couple of times to Symbiosis, Pune. I was very happy to see that they are producing a lot of very good quality technologists. When I say technologists, people who can use on the ventilators, people who can work on the MRIs and all those machines. So those changes are happening, and this is a very, very positive in my mind. Yeah, and then if I look at the overall potential, I mean, potential is very high, but companies have to start thinking for not only global, not only local, they should think of global. And how it will happen? It will happen, think of scale with quality. If scale and quality is not done properly, we will have a lot of challenge. Ecosystem has been pretty nicely addressed. I would say that today AMTZ or Tamil Nadu or Gujarat, many places we have medical technology parks now, including a couple of more states. And yesterday I saw the in short message coming that even at Karnal, Haryana government has launched a medical technology park. So I guess 1 or 2 parks in each state. Our countries like many in Europe sit inside. You have, if you have several parks within UK is just a less than UP, our UP. So we need to really have a many technology parks which will create then the produce people as well as produce the technologies and produce the ecosystem. So that's very, very important. What I request government here is that they should sustain some goodies for next some 8-10 years time. They must look at it that if today we have pharma which has done very well. Why? Because there was a champion at the government level who's managing the chemical and pharma together. And that way, you just can't add medical device as a one-line item. Medical device itself is such a big subject. I mean, a suture or even a syringe or glove is also a medical technology. And you talk of MRI and CT scan and PET CT is also medical technology. So there has to be some senior IS who's driving only this. And that will totally bring the totally different motivation. He'll try to clean up a lot of those issues and hurdles. And at the same time, I also request Indian customers. I mean, you may not have a very great fit and finish of the products when you are starting now. And we know the challenges we have today, the sentiments which are there with China. I mean, we should probably accept it performance-wise if those machines are good, which will be good electronically. And if on the software side, we are very strong. But if fit and finish is not there, they should accept these machines and go for it. So these are the areas which I think I just wanted to cover here. And one more area which will probably fuel the whole growth is the FDI and ease of use. Government has given a clear 100% FDI to come in the medical route. And ease of use is also, which is now becoming good. So some structural reform, some financial incentives will take this. And I guess we have a way to, by 2025, we can become between 30 to 40 billion dollar industry, and a lot could be only from India. Thank you.